way I got involved in baking to start with is my mom. I always kind of talk about mom in my lectures and what. She's a really good baker, and we always had cookies and muffins and coffee cakes and pies, and we always had all that stuff. Growing up, we always had dessert. Every meal we had dessert, which is probably my dad kind of forced that issue, but it kind of rubbed off onto me. So then at some point she kind of stopped or slowed down making desserts, but we all wanted to keep eating them.
Right.
So I kind of stepped in and started. At one point, I remember she has an old Betty Crocker cookbook from the 60s. It's like a 3-ring binder. And I went through when I was when I was 11th grade, 10th or 11th grade, I went through the whole baking section and I made every single recipe.
Tell me a little bit about your culinary background.
My culinary background. I went to Johnson & Wales. I attended Johnson & Wales in Providence, Rhode Island, way back when, back in the 80s. I got both my AOS and my BA degree from there, Johnson & Wales. At the time, it was the only school that offered a baking and pastry program. And then from there, I was working at a little European cafe called the Cafe Miltonburg in New York. And I was kind of the pastry chef and manager, and I would host on the weekends, and I was doing all kinds of things. It was fun. It was just a little place. And I would make all the desserts, and then I would get to talk to the customers. And then from there, I moved down to Washington, D.C., and I got a job at the Hyatt on Capitol Hill, right downtown, and I was there until I got laid off. A job at a place called Marvelous Market, which is kind of a bread-based, high-end bread-based company. We had 6 retail locations, and we also supplied Starbucks with all of their desserts. We operated out of a commissary, so all the baking was done in one location, and then it was shipped out to all of our locations. It was fun. It was good. It was a crazy time. With Starbucks, they're not happy until there's a shop on every corner.
Right.
So our production was kind of doubling like every week and a half, which was nuts. And I was there for a few years. I started teaching adult education classes. When I was down in Washington, I started teaching cake decorating classes, and realized that I really loved teaching. The way I ended up in Vermont is I used to vacation in Vermont all the time when I was growing up, and I loved Vermont. So that when I saw that Becky was looking for a baker instructor,
It's doing my thing.
I came and I tried out, and they offered me a job right on the spot, and I've been here ever since. And that was 17. I usually teach Bake One. It doesn't always happen here. Sometimes it does happen at La Brioche. This is kind of where I feel most comfortable.
I love teaching, but is there any negatives of it, like difficulties, or just some things that really just...
Yes. Yes. Holy crap. The negative things about teaching, I have trouble with students that don't have any interest.
Yeah.
Also, students that don't listen, I have kind of trouble with. Because my
favorite part of teaching?
Favorite part of class, or my favorite part of teaching, would be teaching math. I love doing the math lecture, and working with students in the bake shop. Students that say, I just can't. I don't know. I can't do it. I don't remember it, or I always say in class, and you probably remember me saying this, is that we're not doing anything other than adding, multiplying, or dividing. Students are really anxious about math. They get nervous around math, and the math that we're doing is not difficult, but it's really, really useful. Overall, the frustrating moments are usually a lot less than the rewarding.